Howdy there guys, welcome back to Edgar TV. Today we're going to talk about the PDC darts games. That's right, computer games of darts. These went across all the major consoles from 2006 to 2010, that the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Nintendo DS and the Nintendo Wii. And you got your chance to play as the players, playing games of darts under the actual format, in tournaments, in career mode, in exhibition mode, in all sorts of different sort of things with unlockables and some good gamification. However, one of the biggest issues was that the games just became a bit too easy to master. A lot of them sort of used like this power bar for throwing the darts, which after a short bit of time just became ridiculous, where you could almost hit 9 darters every time. Or if you used one of the Wii versions, for example, it was that hard and ridiculous that you could never master it, and by the time you mastered it, you might as well have learnt how to play real darts. The other real issue that I found with these games back in the day was there was no real way of making it more gamified. You can see here cutscenes between each of the throws, just like watching the darts on the TV, taking the time to play the game, and the games was played over the actual formats that they was played in those tournaments. So you might be playing a game best of 5 sets, best of 5 legs, could take an hour just to play one of the games. And when you think about other games that are very similar to this, like a WWE game where you've got your health bar that doesn't last as long as a 20-minute match, or a game of FIFA which traditionally you play the 90 minutes, but with those 90 minutes it's sort of actually condensed down into about 4 minutes a half or 6 minutes a half to actually make the game go a little bit quicker and keep the interest levels. You can imagine playing this game for a period of time would have got a little bit dull over time. And maybe darts is just one of those games that doesn't translate well to computer games, which is why maybe we only had this for 4 years. Another thing to think about with these games though is actually maybe now in the modern world of things like VR, or with the advancement in technology of computer games, maybe we'll see a better version of this. Certainly with people like Luke Littler being around at the minute as well, who is somebody who really advocates for computer games and is a big fan of FIFA, and maybe with him being around, one of the game developers might get a little bit more involved. Maybe there's a game development where we can have these career modes but you actually play on your own board. But there's lots of possibilities in regards to that. But I want to know as well, as I'm sure you do, what it was like to be in these games. Well, luckily enough, I know a player who's in the top 16 in the world at the time, Kevin Painter, who I did go and meet up with and get a little bit of insight into what it was like for the people in the games. So Kevin, you was in the game. How did they sort of approach you to sort of be in? Did you apply to that, or did the PDC just say, do you fancy being in this game?
No, well, the PDC just come up to us and said, look, we're doing a video game. We're planning on putting you in it. Have you got any objections? No, great. Put us in, yeah. Okay, so from there, did they just sort of like use your likeness, or did you have to go get scanned and sort of get... No, well, we went off and done the scanning thing. It wasn't a long process. It was like half hour, 45 minutes, just to get some angles and things of the throw, etc. So, yeah, it wasn't a long process. Did you have any, like, celebrations or anything you had to do for it? Yeah, we had to do a couple of celebrations. I don't know, when you look back at the video, I don't know if it's, they're all the same or anything, but we had to do a couple of different celebrations and different sort of standing angles, and that was pretty much, that was it, really, yeah. How did you feel when you saw yourself as a computer character? Did you? Because some of them are terrible, aren't they? Some of the characters came out bad. No, it was a bit weird, but actually it looked okay. Some of the players are like, who's that? But no, they've done a good job on it, to be fair. That could be another video, actually. Can you name the player from the computer game? Yeah. Because I don't think some of them are very clear. No, but that's the way it came out. Back then, we're talking about when they first brought this out. I think it was like the mid-2000s, 2005, I'm guessing. So, stuff now is much more advanced. So it'd be, the technology now would show it a lot better, wouldn't it? Have you played the game? Yeah, I tried to play it, and it's really difficult. I found it hard to play it. They gave us a DS game version and then the Wii version, but it was difficult to play, to be fair, yeah. Finances. Did you get anything? Did you get like a lump sum? Did you get royalties for being in the game? No, we didn't get none of that. Some of the players might have done, no names mentioned. They might have got something, but no, we didn't. We was just like, you know, it's part of the contract. We're gonna PDC, gonna do bits and pieces, and you just go, do you want to be in it? Yeah, that's it. I didn't get nothing for it, but got a couple of the versions of the game, so that was about it, really. Yeah.
Now available at all good car boot markets.
Probably.
Now, it didn't surprise me there to hear from Kevin, who says that it didn't actually take that long to do the scanning. When we think about it and we look at things such as maybe like a FIFA or the WWE games, which are sports-related games, I follow a guy called Maven, who used to be a WWE wrestler, now got his own YouTube channel, and he actually talks about computer games, and when he talks about the computer games, he talks about that scanning process taking hours in order to map out the movements. Now, when we look at these games, you'll see that actually the movements and the throws aren't very different. Everybody has sort of the same celebrations, and the actions and the techniques of the players don't actually replicate the actions and the techniques. So I think when they did this scanning, it was probably just a scanning to get similarities in terms of facials and to build those characters to look like the characters they do in the game and in real life, rather than actually to mimic their movements. So I'm not surprised to hear that scan. The thing that did surprise me a little bit was the financial side of things. Again, when we go back to Maven as a very good sort of judge, he talks about that they used to get a fee from the game developer, but then they also used to get royalties for every time they was used in a game and that likeliness was used. Now, one thing Kevin did refer to there was the PDC contract, which does actually, when you sign that PDC contract, the image rights are given over to the PDC as such. So I guess it's the PDC's right to sell them, not your own right to sell them. And if you think about this as well, we're talking the last game was 14 years ago. The PDC and darts and the industry's developed so much more. It was actually quite small back in those days. If you think back to when it first started, 2006, this was sort of like early Barneveld sort of switching. There was still kind of a bit of a debate going on who's the bigger brand with the PDC or the BDO. I do have a video on that if you want to check that out. I'll pop it on the end screen actually as well, to do with the viewing figures and things in regards to and the averages of the BDO and the PDC at the time. So you can see that actually it wasn't like the PDC now, who are a dominant force and the global brand in darts and the place to be as such in regards to darts. But if again we look at those sort of, like even now the PDC's got just over 500,000 subscribers, where the WWE's got 100,000 million, I think it is. I'm not very good with numbers. It's a lot of zeros after a 1. I'll put it on the screen so you can see it. But so you look at where it is in terms of the development of it. Darts is kind of an infant in regards to that, in regards to where it is as a sport compared to something like WWE, where it's been on that journey already. But a few interesting things and points there in the PDC darting game. Do you think darts could return? Personally, I don't think this is something that translates to computer games, I'm afraid. I think it's too hard to master, and you might as well just master the real thing. Let me know what you think down in the comments section. Would you like to see the darts games back? I'll catch you soon for some more Edgar TV.